Matt, are you building your company to sell it?
I've not sold my company. And I still don't know why I'm here. We are trying to build the most personalized shopping experience in the world, and the largest jeweler in the world, and our intent is to do that as a long-living, sustainable company. We've had a couple interested parties in buying the company. We've not considered it. And we think that there's a bright future for building a multi-billion-dollar company that sort of represents a better way to buy and sell things online.
So let's hear the others, whether they build to sell and whether Matt should be thinking about whether he should be selling his business now.
I would have to agree. We didn't build the company to sell it, although we were always thinking about who a strategic buyer might look like if buying was an option. We went into this to think our mission from the get-go was to save people time so that people could have a better life, and to help other companies who cared about that do that. And so our mission, I think anybody who goes into this better have a pretty big mission, something that you're passionate about as a mission, because it's really hard to do. I will say that for us, I personally didn't want to run a public company, so once you do take venture money, you do have to be conscious of the fact that an exit does have to happen at some point. So to say you're never thinking about it, even if you're on a mission for something much larger than that, somewhere in the back of your mind it is. And I think for myself, if it was going to be a public company, I knew that I wouldn't be the person running it. But I wasn't thinking, we weren't spending very many cycles thinking about selling or packaging it up for somebody else. It was about delivering the mission that we'd started with. It's too hard to think about it otherwise.
Okay, so I think what you've heard here are like the classic CEO answers to this question, which is like, no, we only build things because we want to make the world better and all that sort of stuff. I'll never forget, early in my tenure as CEO, I ran into a CEO in New York, Dave Morgan. He built Dakota and sold it. He runs Simul Media now. He built Real Media. And I had him in a bar, and I was like, so Dave, like, what do you do every day? And I was like excited to talk to him, and he said, I increase shareholder value. And I was like, God, come on, man, whatever. What does that mean? He's like, no, that's what I do. And it always struck me that we're in a position where, yes, we want to build great companies and do great things for the world, but by the very nature of us taking money from people who are intending to maximize the value of our businesses, and by us building something, we're not just doing it to hang around. We all set out somewhere to sell these companies. And yes, the right CEO answer is no, I just want to build something that's awesome. But the truth is, there's got to be an exit somewhere, or else all of our VCs would have been very mad at us, and we wouldn't be sitting here today, except Matt. Here's a question: if you were running a company today and you knew you had to sell it, okay, it's doing okay, it's not failing, but you knew you had to sell it, what would be the 3 things you would do to get it ready to get sold?
Hire another VP and build your bench strength, because your head is going to go out of the game, and so you need to make sure that the shop keeps running itself. So deepen your bench strength.
So get all of your stuff in line, because people will start bombarding you with questions, and you want to make this process go incredibly fast, because the faster you make this process happen, the more demand for your company you can create. And so if you don't have all of your stuff ready for all these questions in your field, you're going to look like an amateur at this.
I would just never put yourself in a position where you have to sell, and I don't believe you have to sell. There's a lot, some of the very richest people that you don't hear about every day have not sold their companies. We have one of the best local private companies here in Fidelity. I can name a bunch of others. You just want to build a business that creates the ability to have the choices.
All right, so here's a question. So let's say it is time to sell. You've got 9 calls in your answering machine. Everything is awesome. You're ready to sell. Do you call an investment banker? How do you choose the right one, and are they good or bad?
Yeah, we hired an investment banker. We hired Thomas Wiesel. They're very good, and they're very smart people. They work really hard. Their goal is to help you anticipate all of the questions that the buyers are going to ask, so that you can have a process. The whole point of any auction is to have more than one buyer show up at the moment you're about ready to say yes. So you want to get lots of people interested and all come together at the same time, like throwing a party. So, they're very good at that, and you end up paying a fee which they will earn as long as they can bring at least one other person to the table. So I would say it's a good idea when you've got the 9 phone calls. Where I've seen people waste a lot of energy and money is the board's like, geez, I don't know, do you think we could find a buyer? Why don't you go out and hire someone to help you shop the company? And that is just a really bad moment because you're going to waste a lot of your time sort of trying to push a wet noodle up a hill. And so you don't, I don't like that situation. I much prefer the one where you wait, you've got action, and then, yes, do a professional job, run a professional process, help people feel like there's a moment that they've got to act if they want to be involved.